miles away from here before dawn.
Where is she?
Follow that North Star. If there are no stars, just follow the river. Listen for them. Fear is your enemy.
Whoa, easy now.
I'm gonna be free or die.
I don't know if you know how extraordinary this is, but you have made it 100 miles to freedom all by yourself. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Harry Tubman.
You are welcome here anytime.
If I'm free, my family should be too. I made up my mind, I'm going back.
You're confident, composed. When trouble comes, you'll be ready.
Papers. Says here you're 5.5 feet tall. You ain't more than 5 feet.
Must have won my high boots that day.
Why you back here? It ain't safe.
I come to get you. Bring all of you to freedom.
Do you know what would happen if you got caught? You got lucky, Harriet.
I made it this far on my own, so don't you tell me what I can't do.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad. Everybody, everywhere is looking for you.
God don't mean people to own people.
Find this thief and burn her at the stake.
Harriet!
I would give every last drop of blood in my veins until this monster called slavery is dead. Ready?
The gods foretold of this day. When a champion from Themyscira would be called upon to protect man's world.
You're a princess, right?
Something like that.
Diana, explain yourself.
His arrival is a sign. Man's world needs our help, Mother.
Are you truly willing to throw away everything you are for the mere chance of helping them?
It's what you taught me.
It's Wonder Woman! Blast her!
I take it deliberations are over.
It did not go well.
You really are something special. You know that?
So presumptuous.
It's been a long time.
Giganta.
Bigger and better, big.
I do so love mass destruction.
What's the matter, princess? Feeling a little slow?
You haven't beaten me yet. Poison and Cyber may have declared war on Themyscira. But if there's one thing Amazons know, it's how to fight a war. And it's time to fight. Show me the path to Themyscira. Show me the way home.
You just had to wait for the dramatic entrance, didn't you?
I thought you liked a little drama.
Things that make you go, you know, these aren't jokes, these are thoughts, these are things that make you say,
This may seem terrible, but my God, I didn't know you were black.
for a plan, pop it for me. Turn around and drop it for a plan, drop it for me.
Dragon Manifest. Welcome to the Realist Tip on Earth, Dragon Manifest.
Thank you for having me, brother. This is an honor. I've been watching you for at least a couple years now.
Yes, sir.
From the first time I got hip to your channel, I've been hooked ever since. I'm always looking out for new videos. I mean, when I first saw your channel, I said, "Oh, this is an ancestor that has most definitely returned." Yes, most definitely. This is not a new ancestor. This is an old ancestor. You could hear, you could feel the ancestors through you. You know, most people probably say, "What is he talking about?"
Right.
They don't get it. You gotta be on that level.
Hey, my brother, you know I had to call you and thank you personally again. I cannot describe to you how happy I was to meet you in person, finally. That was just like amazing.
Free your mind.
As many of you know, first of all, like many of you, I was a Christian. I was raised in the Baptist church. Like many of us, we were raised in the Christian church. And then, even as a child, I was introduced to Nation of Islam teachings. So I just went from one religious belief system to another belief system that I thought was better. But when it's all said and done, they're both basically the same. There's no real difference. But I thought it was at the time. But to make a long story short, I am a believer in God. Okay. And then my last experience in those belief systems was, of course, the belief in Allah, Nation of Islam teachings. I decided it was in the best interest of myself and all those who were involved that I leave that belief system, because I no longer believed. Because of certain circumstances, I found that this God didn't do nothing for me. I found out that this devil didn't do nothing for me. I began to experience and I began to see that all of this was just some fictional fairy tale stuff I was taught all my life. None of it is real. That's what I found out through my experience. So I let it go. Now, even before I let it all go, I had a very tragic experience that I really wouldn't wish on nobody. But that experience was being unjustly charged with a crime and then made mentally ill. And I had to struggle trying to get myself out of a mental institution for 10 years. Very devastating. Never thought I would be in a situation like that, but it happened. So, after being in the Nation of Islam almost 9 years, close to 10, and I thought, even though I'm not there, I'm still buying final calls, I'm still visiting the mosque, I'm still cool with my brothers. I thought I was still cool with the brothers, that this religion represented brotherhood and sisterhood. That's what I thought. regardless whether you are in the mosque or outside the mosque. That's what I was taught. So I reach out to them for help. Actually, I reached out to all black organizations, the NAACP, Urban League, the Rainbow Coalition, whoever, you name it, I probably wrote a letter to them. But we're going to talk about the Nation of Islam, religion. And basically, when I reached out to them, what they said, and even some Christians said to me, the reason why I'm in the crazy house is because I rejected Jesus. The reason why I'm suffering in the crazy house unjustly is because I rejected Allah. If I had stayed in the church, if I had stayed in the mosque, I would not be staying in the mental institution. That's what they told me, basically. That's what they told me, okay? So, I'm being punished for my rebellion against God, while they ignored the whole point. Now, when I got in trouble with the law, I was not a Christian, that's for sure. But I was still a Muslim. I still was praying to Allah. I still believed in the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. So you explain to me, I'm still a believer. I'm still praying to God. I did not reject God. So you tell me, why am I in this mental institution to begin with? Why would God allow me to get railroaded by these racists and put in this situation? To begin with, I still was a believer in God. But anyway, I'm a rebel. I'm a rebel. I'm a disbeliever. Something I done wrong. And really, not all, I cannot say all, I'm not going to even say all, but you have those who are believers in God, whether it's Jesus or Allah or Yahweh or Yahshua or whatever the gods is. There are those who actually sit back in the cut and they wish those who are non-believers, they hope something happened to you so bad, so they can say, see what happens to you when you rebel against God? See what happens to you when you betrayed God and you became a hypocrite? They like that stuff. They like it. They eat that stuff alive. They actually sit back. Here are your brothers and sisters. These are the people that's supposed to be peaceful. And they love humanity. They love everybody and whatever. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum or whatever. And they actually sitting back in the cut. If you don't believe in their God, if you don't believe in their teachings, they actually, when they see that something terrible has happened to you, they're actually happy. They're glad, because this supports and verifies the reason why you're going through this is because you was rebellious to God. Wow. These are your friends. These are the ones that are peace lovers and your brothers and sisters wishing you bad luck, hoping something terrible happened to you because you reject Jesus or Allah or some Kemetic Egyptian stuff or whatever it is, Hebrew Israelite stuff, whatever. But now, the ironic thing is, how do you explain your own misadventure when you lose your job, when you find out you got cancer, when you get hit by a car, when somebody's suing you, charging you falsely for rape? and other tragedy. You are in your mosque, you are in your synagogue, you are in your church, and somebody just walks up off the street with an AK-47 and murders your brothers and sisters who were believers right there in the mosque, right there in the temple, right there in the house of God. They are not considered non-believers. They are not considered rebellious against God and hypocrites and whatever. Somebody like Minister Louis Farrakhan, pray to Allah every day. He's a man of God. He's a man of God, still suffering from prostate cancer. Why Master Farah Muhammad didn't stop you from getting prostate cancer? And you put on a face when you are in the public, but when you're at home, I'm pretty sure you're still fighting prostate cancer. It's got to be painful. But you're not a hypocrite. You're a believer. You're a man of God. You're not a non-believer, so why is tragedy falling upon somebody like him? But see, what they say, karma is a beat. Because you sit around and you wish bad luck on people because they don't believe. But then what happens is, here come all these tragic things that happen to you. So why isn't your God backing you up? Well, so what's good for the goose is good for the gander. So apparently you're not as righteous as you claim. So apparently you're not as holy as you claim. So apparently you're doing something wrong. Apparently you must be a hypocrite. Something is wrong with you because you're suffering tragedy also. But see, the difference between you and me is that I'm not wishing something terrible to happen to you to prove my point. I'm not sitting back hoping that somebody will go in a church or a mosque or a synagogue and shoot people down to prove my point. These people are actually hoping and they're happy when something terrible happened to a non-believer of God so they can say, see what happens when you don't believe in God. So what? So when things terrible happen to you, what's up with you then? While you're laying there bleeding with 9 bullets in your ass. Why your God didn't stop this person from shooting you, setting your church on fire, a tornado from tearing your mosque up, and the tragedy goes on and on and on and on. So what's wrong with you? But like I said, I'm not wishing terrible things on you. I'm pointing out, though, I will point out that your God did not protect you. I will do that. Because you're telling me that your God created the heavens and the earth and your God got all this power. But your God can't protect you from an AK-47 or a bomb or a tornado or an earthquake. And you lay there with your head bleeding from concrete falling from the floor of your roof, hitting you in the head because you was in an earthquake. Where was your God? Yeah, I would question that. Not wishing you harm because it's already happened and your God didn't do nothing to prevent it. So yeah, I'm going to call your God out. Your God didn't do a damn thing. Your God did not do anything for you in the earthquake. And this God didn't do nothing for me. That's why I let the God go. But when I found out, got the proper information, began making the proper moves, I got myself out of the situation and God did not help me at all. And I'm not giving no God no credit because God didn't do a damn thing for me. Because if there was a God and I'm a believer in God and was sincere and living my life in the best manner I could to please this God, why did this God allow this travesty, this injustice to happen to me, not just for 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 years, but for 10 years? And during the time I was locked up, how many believers in God suffered tragedy? Your son and daughter killed by a gang member. in a car accident, all kinds of tragedies, and you actually gonna sit back and want to be happy because something bad happened to somebody because you want to prove to me, see, that's what happens when you rebel against God. But look at me. I'm in decent health, doing pretty good, probably better than a lot of you out there that believe in God. I don't see the difference. If I'm going to believe in something, why don't I believe in me? And when I believed in myself, that's when the situation changed.
Free your mind.
I've had a few different jobs in my life, and I have about 10 years of food service experience being a manager. I've always been like a manager in food service. I have about 10 years of that. Different restaurants, hotels, fast food, so forth. If I could gather, well, being a manager means that you are a supervisor over a group of people. From 5, 20 employees. You are the supervisor. You are the manager. You run this kitchen. So, if I could gather those who may have been under my supervision, those who have been under my management, I really doubt, out of all of them, you will find not even one that will tell you that Brother Angel Snubbing Up 7 wasn't fair, wasn't just. I treated everybody fair. I treated everybody with justice. And you want to know why? Because that's the way I want to be treated. Minister Louis Farrakhan said that Elijah Muhammad told him, after Elijah Muhammad asked him, brother, what is the best religion? And Minister Farrakhan just assumed it was Islam. And Elijah Muhammad told him, no, brother. Simply treat a person like you want to be treated. That's the best religion. So my religion is to treat a person like I want to be treated. Simple as that. Easy to understand. Easy to do for some of us. Because I don't want to do to you what I don't want done to myself. So, having said that, there are those who, when I speak about the inclusion of our brothers and sisters who are transgender or gay and lesbian or intersex or whatever they may call themselves, there are those, because I want to include our people. They are our people. Some of these persons, and even in my family, I'm related to people who are gay, lesbian, or whatever. These are our people. This is our family. But because of their lifestyle, we don't want to include them, and we want to bar them from the struggle that we call black liberation. We want to bar them out of the revolution. Now, to my knowledge, I I have no knowledge that Marcus Garvey banned gay people from his movement. And see, this is another thing. We fall in love, or not fall in love, but we're used to these stereotypes of gay and lesbian people. You know, with the hand, child, how you doing? Oh, welcome to the Reality Temple on Earth. I am Angel Snuffing Up 700. I am the most powerful voice on YouTube. You know this. Girl, Cindy Terry Rona. Girl, woo. See, that's a stereotype. Many of these transgender, gay, lesbian people, their sexual orientation, many of them you will never even know. They don't act that way. The only way you'll know if they tell you, because you're not in their bedroom, and if they don't carry themselves like that. Matter of fact, see, look, as an example. Now, I don't know all the details, and I don't even know, I haven't even looked it up on the internet. But I do remember, I think it was in the 1990s, there was a scandal at Mosque Mariam, the Nation of Islam. There was a homosexual love affair among the Fruit of Islam in the temple. I think they were in the Fruit of Islam, they were college students. And I guess somebody didn't like somebody, or they broke up with them, and one of the brothers committed suicide, one of the FOI. Now, here you are, you have homosexual activity in the headquarters of Mosque Mariam, the headquarters of the Nation of Islam. And you have a suicide. So Minister Farrakhan comes out in the public and he begins to teach, because he got to try to clean all this up. Why wasn't, since you know homosexuals and gay folks, so why didn't they notice? Why didn't they know? And you have so many brothers and who are on the down low. They married, got wife and children, and messing with men in the shadows. How many of them are FOI? How many of them are Hebrew Israelite? How many of them are Moors and Comedics? How many of them? You're not going to stop that. This is the environment that we are in. You're not going to stop that. The only way we're going to stop that is we change our situation, change our society, the whole way that we live, and begin to destroy the causes, what we believe is the causes of such behaviors, including other things that we do. But since I'm fair, I want for my brother what I want for myself. And my gay and my lesbian brothers and sisters, that's myself. That's part of us, whether you like it or not. If I'm not fair to them, then I need to be fair. Then I need to be fair. If you want to be prejudiced and biased against homosexuals and gays, then you need to be biased against all those who commit sin. Because really that's what it's all based upon. This religious background. Now me, myself, it has nothing to do with religion. That's just unnatural behavior. And I have an understanding of why. But I'm not going to condemn nobody about it, because I don't want to be condemned. Simple as that. But if we're going to do that, then if we're going to condemn people because of their sin, then treat the people that smoke and drink and do crack and smoke weed, who have been convicted of murder and larceny. Let's just treat everybody the same. And when you finish condemning people, including yourself, because you're not all together either, then there's nobody going to be left. Many of our gay and lesbian brothers and sisters are more stronger, more of a fighter than these people that's supposed to be straight. and they don't have children. Here you are, supposed to be a heterosexual with children, and your fight ain't about nothing. You talk a little loud, you talk a little bold, but for somebody that you need to secure the future of your children, y'all really don't stand up. But when you look at the gay and lesbian community, look at how they fight. They get their signs, they get on the phone call, they go to war. And that's why they have what they have, and probably that's the reason why you're jealous of them, because they fight and get things done, and the only thing you could do is run your mouth. They actually work and produce, and you can't get nothing together to save your life. But it's very simple. It has nothing to do with you love that lifestyle. I let my brothers and sisters, for as long as I've been on YouTube, they know my position on that lifestyle and that behavior. And I don't use that against nobody. You're still my brother and my sister, but I just still have to tell you the truth. But I'm not going to be on here every day, oh, the homosexuals do this and the gay lifestyle. I'm not going to. I might as well talk about stop drinking, talk about that every day. Don't smoke. Stop lying. Perfect all our sins. We might as well just do that every damn day. The Jesus of your Bible, of your scripture say, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And the Jesus himself did not pick up a rock. I'm not in a position to judge nobody. If you drink, if you smoke, you do crack or whatever, if you're homosexual, or gay or lesbian, whatever, I'm not in a position to judge you. But I do know that you are a descendant of slaves, born in America, having dark skin, and you deserve to be liberated. In fact, our being under this unnatural, wicked oppressor, he's the cause of all our problems anyway. But once we get out from under him and just change the way we do things, you don't have to worry about all this stuff. Leave people alone. Just put into position, put into motion that which won't form that. This society, this civilization produces those things. Now, to be quite honest, in nature, it's probably rare. It's rare. But in this society, because it is unnatural, it's not rare. It has become the norm. But a different environment will produce different results. So you don't have to worry about it. You produce a different environment, you don't have to worry. People will stop smoking. People stop drinking, doing the weed. You'll see these different types of behavior just slowly disappear. Because I know that you don't like it, my gay brothers and sisters, but it's unnatural. It's not your fault. You have nothing to do with it. So I cannot condemn us. We was born in a toilet. It's not your fault. We covered with feces and urine. It's not our fault. And I'm not going to judge you. I'm not in a position to judge you. You deserve to be liberated from an oppressor. And you deserve whatever. If they were giving out reparations right now, they're not going to ask us, are you a homosexual? Well, if you're homosexual, we can't give you reparations. That's not how it works. Are you a descendant of slave, born in America, having dark skin, having Aboriginal or African ancestry? That's all that they care about. That's the only thing that will be a requirement. I'm not going to ask you if you smoke weed, are you an ex-con, and all these other different stipulations. You deserve liberation. You deserve better. You deserve justice and being treated fair. You have suffered having this dark skin just like all of us have. And I'm not going to be biased and prejudiced and hate-filled with you. You respect me, I respect you. Let's get this job done and progress and move our people forward.
Free
This really is mind-boggling, and I don't understand the shock. I don't understand the surprise. Speaking about these mass shootings, folks act like they shocked, like it's surprising. I mean, as far as mass shooting in this country is concerned, it goes back a long, long time. It's not new at all. Actually, it's becoming the norm. Not because of Donald Trump, not because of any particular president. It's because that's how America do. There have been almost one mass shooting in this country for every day of the new year so far, from what I read. One mass shooting for every day, almost for every day of this year. That's a lot. It's a lot of people being injured. It's a lot of people being killed. That's a lot of fear. But you act like you shot. Now, it's new to a certain point that people now target Walmart. They target music concerts, and they target churches and mosques and synagogues. This is sort of new. They've been doing the school thing for a while. You know, it goes all the way back a little while. They start shooting up. Actually, children, teenagers start shooting up their schools. But I think, do y'all remember, was it 1964? 4 little soul sisters, little girls, Birmingham, Alabama, they were blew up in the church. Do you remember the murder of Medgar Evers in his driveway? Do you remember Emmett Till, the little boy murdered in Mississippi? Violence is a way of life in America that goes all the way back to the very beginning. So what are you shocked about? Now, I don't know how old you are, but just think about how old you are. Because right now, America is still in a conflict in Afghanistan and Iraq too, I believe. They are still in Afghanistan fighting the Taliban, this war, and some other conflicts around the earth. Now, some of these conflicts we probably don't even know nothing about, but we do know about Afghanistan. I think they've been in Afghanistan 15 years. They was in Iraq for 10 years. But just think about only in your lifetime. Only in your lifetime. How many wars have you seen in your lifetime being a citizen of America? Well, I was born, well, not born, or was I? The Vietnam War was going on. The Vietnam War, they invaded Grenada, the small island. I remember that conflict. 2 wars with Iraq. 2. Out of the whole history of the United States, when was there a period of time where America was peaceful? I think it was just for a few years. Maybe they had a 5-year period of time where there was no conflicts. But other than that, this violent country that has been violent ever since the Revolutionary War, it's always been violent. They shoot and kill during the Vietnam War. They shot and killed their own college students that was protesting the Vietnam War. How many soul brothers and sisters who were protesting in the civil rights movement, including children, was bit by dogs, sprayed with fire hoses, and just shot down in the street? Hurricane Katrina, how many brothers and sisters was murdered during Hurricane Katrina? Killed by syphilis. Gave you syphilis on purpose. All the lynchings, all the hangings and the torn featherings that my ancestors dealt with, the violence, all the brothers and sisters in the South. That's why they left the South, because they were being terrorized and forced to migrate to the east or to the north or to the west because of the terror, the violence of the South. You live in America. What do you like to entertain yourself with? Basketball, men going up and down the court, pushing into each other. But really football, taking that ball, these big men smashing into one another violently. Violent pornography. Men just getting these women, just doing all kinds of stuff to them violently. Violent video games. Violent movies. You like to go and hunt and kill deer that you don't want to eat. Just go out and kill animals with a gun because they love just to watch something die. Kill a possum, kill a raccoon, kill a deer, kill a bear, whatever, because I just want to kill with a gun. Violent, this place. Domestic abuse is at an all-time high in America. Murder, rape, pedophilia, all kinds of violence day in and day out. Just assaults on each other. This has been going on in this country ever since its inception. Bullying. The children bully each other because they learn it from the adults. Because if I can't get my way, then I will bully you. I'm going to bully Iran. I'm going to bully North Korea. I'm going to bully. I don't know how to solve conflict without violence. You tell the little children that. Don't do that. You want to teach the children conflict resolution. But when the children look at the adults, you run to your car and get your gun. You start cussing and tell them what you gonna do, who you gonna beat up. Let's drop some bombs. Let's take a drone and kill some people. And the children see the hypocrisy. And so the children do the same thing the adults do. They go to their classmates and see weak other children they view as weak. That's solitary. And we're going to bully them and make mockery of them. And those children mess around and they commit suicide violently. And you really act like it's a surprising thing? Mass shootings in America? Are you kidding me? Y'all, they act like this place, you holy and righteous. And loving and peaceful. Oh, let's not forget the anger and even the murder on the highways of America. Road rage. And people get out their car and get shot and stabbed and murdered. You can't even drive your car down the road. You break up with somebody. They want to kill you. You owe me for dinner that I bought you back in 1985. You didn't love me. You gonna kill somebody over that. Kill people over a basketball game, a hockey game, over 5 cents, over 10 cents, a pair of tennis shoes. That's what happens in America every day. I'm gonna shoot you in the face because you black. I don't like you because you're Chinese. You're in the wrong neighborhood. Don't get caught with the wrong color. What you wearing that red for? You don't like blue? You got to wear blue in this side of town. Violent. Violent. Your religion is violent. That's all they talk about in your religious teaching is violence. All through the Bible, all the Quran. Bullying and murder. That's what it's all about. But yet and still, all this violence that we experience since coming into this world, and you expecting peace. Really? What world are we living in? Why is this a shock? At any time, you could lose your life in this violence. What they say, this is a dog-eat-dog world. The other song, we're living in this jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Actually, you probably have a better chance in the jungle because most animals won't attack you unless they think that you're going to cause that animal harm. They just don't go out and just be fighting and killing for no reason like what we do. Murder somebody over a cigarette. Murdering, fighting. I was just watching a video about this Popeye's chicken thing. These people fighting each other over a chicken sandwich. Assaulting the employees of Popeye's chicken, who probably barely making the minimum wage, throwing stuff at them, angry because they didn't get that sandwich on time, or somebody jumped a line and you gave the sandwich to somebody else, or whatever it is. This whole place is violent. Guns everywhere in the hands of fools, so any fool can pull a trigger. Men, women, and children. Children are shooting and killing folks with guns. And women and men. The whole nation is violent. So why so shocked about mass shootings? What we gonna do about it? What can you do about it? Your whole country, unless you change the country. And you're not gonna do that. The country is violent. That's what America is. It's violent. You talk peace. You talk all this love stuff. But violent as hell. A bunch of bullies. You're selfish and you're arrogant. You give $2 away and you act like you done really did a whole lot. You gave $2 away and you sitting on millions and millions of dollars and you think that you done something because you gave $2 away. Because you're greedy like that. You have people on the street that's homeless. Almost 60,000 homeless people just in the Los Angeles area. And they have to be careful because whatever little they do have, they will suffer violence and somebody take what little they have. Violent. Just this weekend where I live, an 8-year-old little girl got shot. A family of 3 was found murdered. A 15-year-old boy was shot, found dead in the middle of the street. Just this week. And you shocked about mass shootings? Really?
Free your mind.
Now, I don't know. I don't know what it is because many of you know me by now and you know my background. But you talk to me like you teaching me something I haven't heard, something I don't know. You think that you're going to tell me something that's just so mind-boggling that it's just going to convert me back to where I came from. I don't go backwards. I've been there, done that. I'm not going back. What is it, pray tell, are you talking about? I'm talking about this pro-black thing. I grew up in it. Been around it for years. For years, I've been around it. Since I was a little boy, I've been around it for years. You want to tell me about Kemet, and you want to tell me about the Moors and the Israelites, and Master Farah Muhammad and the mothership, and you can't tell me there's nothing that you can say that I don't know or have an idea about it. I've been there. I already been where you at. And that was exciting for me when I was a child. I had to be a child. I was a teenager. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman, and that kind of stuff excites you. That don't excite me. As a child, you got me. Temporarily. Because even as a child, going from 18 years old, going on 19, whatever, I started seeing the whole scenario for what it really was. A trip to nowhere. Beautiful speeches. Y'all talk so eloquent, so articulate. Wonderful talk, and that's all you're going to get is talk. You can't accomplish and have not accomplished nothing, and there's a reason for that. You can't even accomplish what your predecessors done. The Nation of Islam, led by Minister Louis Farrakhan, is nothing compared to the original Nation of Islam. The RBG movement is nothing compared to what Marcus Garvey done and the New Black Panther and so forth. You can't even accomplish what people, your predecessors, have done. You can barely open up a lemonade stand. And you think somebody's supposed to be impressed because you know how to articulate and you can talk real well and you're so eloquent and so full of personality. So what? I'm an adult. You're not going to impress me like that. You got to show me. You got to produce. And you can't do that. Nobody has produced nothing and did a damn thing since the end of the civil rights movement. And according to, I think it was Hidden Colors #3, I was watching, Tariq Nasheed was basically saying that the government said, we don't want to go through that again. Because those Negroes was producing, not only talking, but they actually was producing something. The problem was they was divided. The problem was they didn't really, that's really what the problem was. They was all divided. So it was easy to knock each of them off one by one. That's what they done. And once they dealt with that problem, kill the leadership, murder Malcolm. Well, they didn't need to murder Malcolm. Negroes did that on their own. They had to assassinate Dr. King and get rid of the head because they know that the body, as soon as they cut the head off, the body is going to fall. And once the body fell, they had to look at how did this happen? Never, never again in America. And it has not happened since going on 55, 60 years. It has not happened. All your research, all your information, all your knowledge and all this stuff, what we need to do, you've been talking this for years and years and years, and you're still sitting right in the same spot you was decades ago. There's a reason for that. And you want to come to me and you talk to me like I don't know. I already been where you at. All that blackity black, pro-black, black first, RBG. I already been through all that stuff. And the reason why myself and Brother Taalik, who comes on my platform, and the reason why we get along, because we basically followed the same path. We already been there, done that stuff. Ain't nobody impressed by Dr. Malachi York and Sinetta TV and Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. All that stuff excites you. Don't mean nothing to me. Been there, done that. So what? Don't mean nothing. It's nice things to know. But it really, in the grand scheme of things, it don't mean nothing. Because the knowledge does nothing to change your condition because it's not the right knowledge. The right knowledge, the proper knowledge, will change your condition. Makes you feel good, and that's what y'all really love about it. Makes you feel tough, makes you feel bad, you know, make you grow some hair on your chest. And ain't nobody impressed by that except another slave. I'm not a slave, so you don't impress me. Been there, done that. Brother Taalik, been there, done that. So it's redundant. And a part of that programming is always the white man. I get sick of hearing, well, the white man and the black people and the race and the... I guess you get sick of hearing that. I understand about racism, white supremacy. Now I want to make very clear, because there are younger people, I don't want them to forget, and they need to know about white supremacy. They need to know about living in racism. They need to know that. But at the same time, it gets redundant. It gets redundant to keep talking about I'm unapologetically black and keep, you know, just keep saying the same old stuff. Oh, what do it mean? What do it mean? I'm unapologetically black, African, whatever. What do all that stuff really mean? What do it mean? The masses of the people, it don't mean nothing. That don't help them pay their bills. That don't help them do nothing in life at all. Nothing. Just makes you feel good. Feel good rhetoric. It gets redundant. It's sickening. I'm not going backwards. At some point in your development, we understand the cause. We understand what we're going through. But at the same time, there has to be a cutoff point where we have to accept responsibility for ourselves. I understand what the white man do this, and I understand that about Kemet 5,000 years ago. What do they have to do with 2019? Nothing. When are you going to take responsibility for yourself? Just like if a person hit your car, they don't have insurance. Now, you can sit around and cry, oh, they tore up my car, they hit my car. They're responsible. Yes, they are. They don't have any insurance. You're not going to get nothing from them. So either you can sit around and cry and talk about they responsible, which they are, but you're not going to get nothing from them. So you have to take responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your own self and fix your car so that you can ride, so that you can go to work, so that you can go to Disneyland or whatever the hell you want to do. You're going to have to fix your car. Because if you wait around for this person that don't have any insurance, that hit your car, to take responsibility, it's not going to happen. So talking about white people all day long, 24 hours a day, what they done, what they doing, 24 hours a day, and keep showing the tragedy what white folks do every day, that's not going to change your condition. Make you emotional. But see, it's not even going to make you emotional enough to take the proper action. The only thing it's going to do is make you emotional and do what we've been doing since our people were set free from the plantation. Is you just fighting. You don't know how to fight. You just flailing your arms. You're not like a boxer that have a strategy You know how to punch. You know how to back off. You know how to lean. You know how to duck. You know how to fight. We just out here just flailing our arms, hoping that we'll hit something. Hoping we will be successful. Not knowing. Hoping things will go right. Because we don't know what the hell we're doing. And when I said that you're incompetent, you don't know what the hell you're doing, you get upset. Get upset for what? The proof is in the pudding. Show us your accomplishments. There is none. And you think small. This is not the time to think small. You think small and you selfish and you arrogant and you only think about your own personal wants. When you're dealing with people, like in your family, when you're dealing with people, when we talk about we going out to dinner, now in some situations, whatever daddy wants, that's what everybody eat. But see, when you are really in a family, I have my wife and my children, I have to consider, well, my wife can't eat peanuts, little Taalik don't like apples, my little girl, my little baby girl, she don't like milk. I have to take in consideration other people and seek a meal that all of us can enjoy, not just me. Being the man of the household, y'all eat whatever I say eat, like the way my grandfather done. And see, that's how y'all do things. You're selfish and you're arrogant. You only think about your own personal wants. So how can you talk about, I stand for the people. Our people need this. Our people. You don't give a damn about our people because all our people are different. And you don't take consideration what other people want. You only take consideration what you think. And you think they so stupid they don't know what they want. That's why they're going to stay the hell away from you. And that's the reason why you will never be successful. You will do a little something for yourself, but as far as this 40 to 70 million in this country, you're not going to get them. They don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing. Because they're not going to let you dominate them like that. They're not going to let you bully them. They already got a slave master. They're not going to allow you to be another slave master. They already have enough problems as is, being controlled by other people. Then here come another slave talking about what they should and should not do. It's not going to happen. We need to take responsibility for ourselves.